right, this is take 2 of my review on this Alex's Homebrew 1-4 scope, and the reason why it's my second tape, I keep running into things on it, and I just want to do one video that covers it all a little bit more succinctly. Okay, so out of the box, this is what the scope looks like. It comes with its own mount, and I like the mount. I like it for a couple different reasons. One, it's skeletonized, lightweight. It looks pretty good. I like the machining that's done on these rings here. And it doesn't look like a cheap mount. How do I know? I have some cheap mounts. Here, let me, where am I? Oh. Okay, this isn't a cheap mount. It's just old. Here's a Burris Pepper. It's okay, but it's not that fancy. And you can see we've got a tunnel through there, but it's not super lightweight. It's actually kind of heavy. Here's another knockoff I have here that is also kind of heavy. And here's a lightweight one, but the machining quality on it is pretty piss poor. So yeah, I know cheap mounts, and this doesn't look like a cheap mount. We've got one big plate on the side here. We've got some lugs to get into your Picatinny rails. So I like the scope mount so far. We'll see what it's like when I actually put it on a pick rail. But yeah, it looks pretty good. We do have some marks on the scope where they line up with the scope rings. I like that. There's lots of little attention to detail things on this thing that I kind of like. We've got the logo on the side cap and on the top cap. Lots of scopes only have it on one or the other. That's kind of neat. Oh. All three. All three of them have the logo on it and the mount on there as well. A couple of other things that it comes with. It comes with a couple of tools. So we've got a couple of Allen keys here. Allen key and the Torx bit. And it comes with a kill flash. I don't know why they don't just mount this thing from the factory like that, but that's what I would do, is I'd immediately want to put it on. So this front ring here just kind of comes off, and we're going to put that kill flash on because that looks cool. And yeah, that's all we do. So if you don't know a kill flash, when you look through it, it's invisible. When you look at a little bit of angle, it stops any reflectivity off the glass. You know, for those counter snipers, you all watched the, Enemy at the Gates and that kind of thing. So you don't see the glint of the scope looking back at you, right? Because now you'll only see it if it's looking right at you. If it's at a little bit of an angle, you don't see that glint of that scope cap on there. And yeah, we can still just fit that cope cap back on there. We've got nice clicks out of this. Ooh, nice clicks, nice spring on there. Nice positive engagement with it, front and back. Oh, I got in the way that time. Clicks open like that. In terms of the magnification ring, it is not a ring. It is this whole thing. It's got a pretty short throw on it. So you see that is at 1x, and then that is at 4x. So pretty short throw. There are no numbers on the back. Instead, there's just a dot for each. That middle dot there lines up with the diopter to roughly center it, right? You're going to have to get it centered for your eyes to get it set up. I was looking down here, and it didn't look 1x, and then I went upstairs, and I took a look at the window, and it did look 1x. So I think it is a pretty decent true 1x on this thing, which a lot of 1x scopes don't get you that. Oh, that's not 1x, that's 4. There we go. And yeah, you can keep both eyes open and look around with that 1x and see just fine. Now really, okay, we've talked about a couple little features here. Yeah, the scope mount's nice, and the kill flash and all that kind of stuff. Zoom, magnification, lever, ring, whatever, being gigantic. That's kind of neat. For me, I think the coolest thing about this scope is the illumination. So on a lot of scopes, you illuminate not a dot, but you illuminate, I don't know, the whole reticle, or some of them, like this Vortex 1-4 that I have here. It illuminates kind of like a, I don't know, almost like a circle around the middle, which is okay. But a lot of our more inexpensive scopes, they don't use a fiber dot. They use an LED illumination, I guess. And they can never really get that bright. Your more expensive scopes, I used a Vortex Razor 1-10, I think. Was it a 1-10 or 1-8? Regardless, that one had a fiber dot on it, which it's literally like a fiber optic sticking out, aiming right back at your eye, and that makes it super bright. And this one, he spec'd it to have one of those things in there. It is really bright. So I would say at maximum, it's too much here. I'm gonna turn it on a lot. Let's see here, 10. It's got another level after that. You can see that very easily. That nice bright dot there. It's going to be impossible for me to get the camera to focus on it, but it is a point dot. When it's really bright, it's going to flare out. You're going to need to turn it down to get it to be a little bit smaller, a little bit more of that point there. But it is very bright. The coolest part, I don't actually like illumination on scopes because a lot of these twist cap ones die. You leave it on after the range. Oh, your 2032 is dead. Time to put another one on. I couldn't be bothered. I'll just use the scope part and I just won't use the illumination. That's a story most of the time. But this one has a 5-minute auto shut off and it's got shake awake. That means that dot is going to last a long time. And that's something that I think has been missing from scopes. We've gotten that in red dots, your Romeo 5s, that kind of thing. They all have red dots that'll last a really long time. And part of the technology that helps them get there is that auto shut off and shake awake. Both of those things work to making this a very useful feature that you can just rely upon because it's just always going to work. You don't really have to think about it, right? So really impressed about that, especially in the price point you can get this thing for, which is
2,000 years later.